Hi there. Once again, me and Sarge would like to welcome you to Conversational Shaving. Isn't that right, Sarge? He's not saying much. Okay, well, hello there, and how are you? I'm ready to start the shave here, I think. Let me see, a little tired, a little discombobulated, but I'll be alright, I think. I've already prepped my face with the usual Village Barber shaving oil, which I like, but there seem to be two camps about oil. Some people like it, some people hate it. But there is oil of some kind in most of the creams and soaps that are used for pre-shaving, so that's something to be aware of. And my razor today is going to be this. It is the King C Gillette 3-piece razor, which I haven't used in a while. And my cream is going to be this, the Speick Men Razor Cream, right there. And I've already lathered, oops, just put that anywhere. I've lathered in the Stirling collapsible shaving bowl, and I'm using, well, I don't care. I'm just going to keep rolling here. I'm using the Conversational Shaving synthetic brush, the G4 knot, I believe it is, or the G5 knot now, and it's by Frank Shaving. So give me just a minute. I'm going to gather some things that fell in the trash here, and I'll lather my face. Just a second here. Okay, no harm done, because the things that fell in the trash, they're okay, and there's not much trash. I recently emptied it, and there's nothing really gross in there, but I do need to rinse some lather off my fingers here, and then I'll commence to lathering. Got a fairly good lather on the brush here. Let's see if this is enough, and I hope you're all doing well out there. Oops, a little bit falling on the floor there. It's kind of not my evening. I'm recording this at night. I'm running a little behind here this evening. Long story, maybe I'll tell you later. It was a good day though. I got a few things done that needed to be taken care of, so that's good anyway. And I'm gonna wet the razor and commence to shaving. Oh, well, what an interesting evening, though. Here I go. Pass number 1 with the grain. Oh, and I almost forgot to tell you, on its third use in the razor, a feather high stainless blade. Because this razor is mild enough that baby-faced me can use a feather in here, I mean. About 2 days worth of growth here. Okay. Yeah, very light aggression on this razor. So I use a feather blade in it. That's, like I said, that's how light the aggression is on this razor. Oh, and earlier tonight, I kind of did a no-no, something I haven't done in a while. It doesn't involve shaving. You see, I'm a diabetic, and I baked a cake, this time not from scratch, but from one of those boxes of cake mix. And I also put some ice cream with the cake when I had a couple of slices. That's a big no-no for me, and suffice it to say I paid for it later on. Excuse me a moment while I rinse the razor. Yeah, I was feeling even a little woozy before I had that cake and ice cream, but something I haven't had in a while. Boy, I tell you, on its third use, this feather is feeling great. I guess you could say it feels better than it did on its first two uses. I mean, first and second use. This feather, for me anyway, in here, feather blade is feeling, well, it's sharp enough, but not so sharp that it feels uncomfortable, and enough smoothness too. Yeah, efficient is the word I'm looking for. Feels efficient enough. Maybe not as sharp as it was on its first two uses, but it feels comfortable. I'm sure I still have to respect it because feather blades, as you know, are rather sharp. Okay. I started to say earlier, I think maybe it was before I started accidentally dropping things in the little trash can down here, I started to say that this Speick cream smells just lovely, just wonderful. It's sort of a floral scent. I guess it's supposed to be made with those little flowers that grow in the alpine regions above the tree line and the mountains. But it's just a very nice, pleasant scent. And now I need to rinse the razor, re-lather. I'll do that off camera, and I'll be right back for a second pass across the grain. Okay, let's do that second pass across the grain. Here we go. I always do some little strokes right over here by the ear, and then I start doing some longer strokes across here. And sometimes I still have to do some smaller strokes, whatever works for you. Just like the pre-shave situation, whether you use an oil or a cream, or even if you don't use a pre-shave, always do what works best for you. And sometimes it takes a little while to see what works best for you. We all have unique skin, so you know, take your time, try to be patient, try to enjoy the hobby, which is why we do it, and yeah, just enjoy yourself. And if you mess something up, if you get some weepers or even some bleeders, well, be careful, of course, but don't let that get you down. You're going to make mistakes at first. Almost anything you do in life, you're going to make mistakes. And sometimes you can have beginner's luck, and the first few shaves will go great, and then you'll go into a period of time, for whatever reason, where you have some bad shaves. You lose your muscle memory for a while or whatever regarding shaving. Don't let that get you down either. Just take your time, do what feels right for you, and usually what feels right, listen to that little voice in the back of your head. That'll help a lot. Excuse me while I rinse. Sometimes off camera, when I'm just online talking to people, every once in a while I'll be all enthusiastic about something and I'll start giving advice, but I wouldn't necessarily take anybody's advice as written in stone. You can try it, and if it works for you, that's fantastic. A technique or a soap or a razor or a blade or a balm, an aftershave, you name it, you can try it. But if it turns out that it doesn't feel comfortable for you, just don't use it or don't do it anymore. Although there are products and gear and techniques that you can try again later, and you'll be surprised at how they work for you, how you picked up on them, techniques and scents and things like that. And if you're the kind of person that likes working with your hands, you'll enjoy this hobby. There's a lot of hand, muscle memory and just technique involved. Excuse me. Just shaving and having a chat, as Paul H. would say. And sometimes I get really quiet and just get into the shave. I hope I don't get any weepers, because even though this blade is sharp, I'm sure it's not as sharp on its third use, but it is sharp enough, and it seems efficient enough. Certainly not something I'd want to throw in the trash can and not retrieve out of the trash can. I mean, not like something I'd want to throw into the trash can on purpose. I think with one of these blades, in the past I've gone at least 4 uses, maybe once in a blue moon I'll do 5 uses on one of these feather blades. You know, like I said, and probably will say ad nauseum, this blade is still sharp and efficient, but not so sharp that I feel like it's going to give me a lot of weepers or bleeders. And now I'll pop out, pop back in, freshly leathered for a third pass against the grain. Okay, pass number 3 against the grain. Well, I'm running late tonight. I don't think I'm running over on time, or I'm running late getting this video done. I still don't want to rush it. Very nice shave. So far, very nice. And this razor is not really heavy and it's not really light. As far as heaviness of the razor all together with the handle and the head all put together, it's about medium in its heaviness, if that gives you any idea of how much pressure you might want to use when you shave with this razor. If you haven't got one yet, if you do, you probably already know, you've probably already used it. Unless you've bought so many razors that, you know, including this one where you haven't really even used all those new razors yet. Excuse me. But I've had this razor for a little while. Let's see. I'm going to go down to my neck. Usually on the third pass I start on my neck. For some reason I started on my face this time. I had some baby bottom smooth shaves, BBS shaves, this past week, but you could say that they were, in most cases, they were baby bottom smooth, BBS to a fault. I did one straight razor shave this week. It wasn't BBS, but it was very pleasant. And it made me, at least, I would say, very passable. As far as if I went out on the street, I don't think anybody would say that guy needs a shave. On my neck, I thought I could still feel stubble, but I couldn't see any. And nobody remarked about it. Of course, I have sort of a baby face anyway, but excuse me. It depends on how close you're standing to me, I guess, whether you can see any stubble that I might have at any given time. Also, the older I get, the older we get, usually our stubble, our beard turns white. Which is odd for me because I'm only 39. You know, I did start going bald or baldish early and started going gray early. Although thankfully all of my hair hasn't turned gray, or at least that's the way I see it. I might see myself as youthful when in reality I look like an old man. What I see in the mirror may not be reality. Which maybe is not a good thing to say on a shaving video. I don't think I'm super attractive, but I do think I clean up pretty good. And I'll be right back for pickups. Okay, me and Sarge here would like to remind you that there's the magical clock and it's pickup time, everybody. Yay! Isn't that right, Sarge? Sarge is very enthusiastic, you can tell. Alright, I'll put you down, Sarge. There you go. You want out? You want out, or you want to stay in here with me? I'll leave the door ajar so you can decide what you want to do. Great cat there. Here we go. Pickup time. Or touch-up time if you prefer. Whoa, I got a little bit dizzy bending down to pick up and put the cat down. There he goes. Okay, are you going to just stand there in the doorway, or he's just kind of standing in the doorway? As a friend of mine pointed out, Sarge steals the show. You know the old saying, you don't own a cat, they own you. Sarge pretty much has the run of the house around here. What Sarge wants, Sarge gets, if I have it available. Unfortunately, I'm out of wet cat food and I didn't buy any more, but he's a pretty big cat and he hasn't missed many meals, I'll tell you that. Now I'm going to rinse the razor and come back and gild the lily just a little bit. Let's see. I like to shave until I hear no more audio feedback from the razor, but sometimes that's not a good idea. Sometimes it can give me irritation or worse. Okay. I'm just mostly feeling these trouble spots of mine. Mostly. Trying to get them BBS. Everything else seems to be okay. Yeah, I'm really gilding the proverbial lily right now. Just a little touch over here. I don't know if I'll get this perfect. There's a little area over here that can be problematic. I think I'm going to leave it there. That's feeling BBS. And I'm going to rinse my face, the razor, and the brush, and I'll be right back with you-know-who, our good friend, Mr. Towel. Here's Mr. Towel. Oh. Yeah. Forgot to mention I had to wash out the bowl too, or rinse it out, I should say. I had to rinse the razor, the brush, the bowl, and then my face. And now I'm drying my face, obviously. Oh yeah. Feels nice. Yes, feels good. I'll put Mr. Towel back where he goes. I'll begin a brief recap and I'll put the finishing touches on the shave here. So let's see. Got Mr. Towel folded in the right direction. That's always important. To me, anyway. Got a touch of OCD here. Okay, well, I'll begin a recap first. I started off camera. I prepped my face with Village Barber shaving oil. And I let that soak in while I was getting the rest of the shave products together, because letting that soak in for at least a couple of minutes is really best if you use an oil. That way, in my experience, it will be less likely to interfere with your lather. Okay, my razor has been this 3-piece King C Gillette razor. Let's see. I don't know if you can see the little inscription there. And in there, on its third use, was a very good feather high stainless blade from Japan. Okay, moving on. My cream was the Speick Men Razor Cream Shaving Cream. It's the regular Speick. And I lathered using the Conversational Shaving Synthetic G4 brush with the G4 synthetic knot from Frank Shaving. Very nice. And my bowl has been the Stirling collapsible shaving bowl. You can put it back like that, and you can hang it on your towel rack, you see. Okay, moving on. Let's see, I think I covered everything so far, so I'm going to reach over here and get my newish bottle of Thayers Lavender Witch Hazel. And now it says right on there, facial toner. It's a toner. That means it has no alcohol in it. Some witch hazels have alcohol in them, and that makes them astringents. The ones with alcohol usually have 14% alcohol by volume. This witch hazel has none. So, gotta get that cap back on without breaking it. I mean, get the cap snapped shut, because the cap has a nice little restrictor on it. Very light and refreshing witch hazel there, with a very, very light lavender scent. I can barely detect it today, or tonight, as the case may be. Moving on, I now have some of this, the matching Speick Men Aftershave Lotion. So I'll shake that up a little bit and try to decant it, uncap it, whatever. Put a little bit in my hand here. That bottle also has a nice restrictor on it. See, I'll get some of this going in my hands. It smells nice. A little bit on the wrists. I'll put some behind the ears, up around the temples. some on the back of the neck. And of course this has alcohol in it, so I'm feeling some sting, but it's still light and refreshing. With a scent that, in my experience right now, I wouldn't say it exactly matches the cream, but it's a nice enough scent. It's different. But right now, that's just my experience. Your mileage may vary, as they say. I just got this this aftershave and hadn't used it yet. I may have sniffed it, I don't know, but it's the Speick aftershave cream there. Not cream, I'm sorry, just aftershave. And excuse me, because I brought the wrong balm in here. I gotta go grab, I do have some Speick aftershave balm. I'll be right back. Okay, it's one of those days, folks. But here's my Speick Men aftershave balsam, sensitive, it says, for sensitive skin. Have not used this yet. I don't think I've necessarily even sniffed it. Or I might have. Smells nice. Smells better than the lotion. Seems to match the soap better. Get some of that going in my hand. Oh, it feels really nice. Oh, that's a good feeling. Enjoying this, I'll tell you that right now. Woo. That balm feels wonderful. Okay, I might be overdoing it a little bit, but that balm does feel wonderful. I got to get going. It's been almost half an hour. Thank you for joining me. If you've managed to watch all the way through up till now, thank you especially for doing that. I'll try to be back here next week, and me and Sarge the cat wish you adieu. Good night or good day wherever you may be. Peace out.